Gentlemen, start your GTX. The letter X has always been kind of mystical. X marks the spot, X stands for experimental, X represents an unknown or even secret stuff like X Factors or X Files. Today, we're checking out a 1967 Plymouth Belvedere GTX from the Brothers collection. Muscle cars were getting pretty wild by 1967, and the automakers realized that luxury car buyers also wanted to go fast, and that's where the birth of the GTX came from. This time, the X could stand for extra, as the GTX came from the Plymouth factory loaded up with goodies intending to make it an all-around performer with comfort and style as well. Based on the no-frills Belvedere platform, the GTX came stock with the powerful 375 horsepower 440 cube V8, which was no slouch. Upgrades from the basic Belvedere were all over the car and included performance and appearance items, and our color code PP1 Bright Red Convertible features the 426 Hemi, throwing down 425 horsepower at the stab of the pedal. .426 Hemis were no strangers to the engine bays of GTXs, as the big dual-quad street Hemis were installed in more GTXs than any other Dodge, Chrysler, or Plymouth product in 1967. All told, 737 GTXs received the four-letter word on the fender that year, but only 17 Hemis were stuffed into convertibles. And of those 17, only 10 were automatics. This is one of those 10, and perhaps one of the more desirable versions thanks to the bright red paint and black interior. But a 67 GTX didn't need a Hemi to be cool. They had the look, with a dual snorkel scooped hood, and many featured two thin stripes that made them even racier. The front end design is tight, with quad headlights and a no-nonsense grille treatment featuring blacked out upper and lower sections. Slightly coved sides accentuate the long and lean profile, with subtle badging on the fender to shoot a warning across the nose of the competition at the stoplight drags. 14-inch Magnum 500 wheels wrapped with redline tires hold the road thanks to the GTX's upgraded suspension system, consisting of heavy-duty torsion bars and oversized sway bars to keep the body roll to a minimum. Braking was improved with 11-inch drum standard and disc upgrades optional, and oversized ball joints and steering hardware helped keep the show on the road. Out back, the GTX featured a smart tail panel design with clean horizontal line trim surrounding rectangular brake and square reverse lights, with an Argent insert to break up the body color. Dual exhaust tips peek out below the tightly fitting bumper, and our car gets off the line with a heavy-duty rear axle and performance gear set out back. The 1967 Street Hemi spun to the tune of 425 horsepower and 490 foot-pounds of torque at low RPM through two deep-breathing four-barrel carbs. The forged competition-bred innards crushed that air-fuel mix to a 10 1/4 to 1 ratio and were held together with 4-bolt main caps and oversized fasteners throughout. Hemi piston tops kind of resemble the heads of tall bald guys with half-rounded domes that fit tightly into contoured combustion chambers with huge valves to move the mix in and out with maximum efficiency. A solid lifter cam works the valves like Little Richard pounding on a Hammond organ, hitting all the right keys at the right times to make high-revving mechanical music. The power dumps through a loose torque converter and a tight-shifting TorqueFlite automatic transmission and pushes the 3,800-pound GTX to traction-limited 14-second quarter-mile times. The GTX driver sat comfortably behind the sporty steering wheel in a clean bucket seat. The dash is actually kind of plain, but it's stocked with all the gauges needed to keep tabs on the beast without being cluttered. The black hot seat gets hotter when you put the top down on a sunny day, but that's the price to pay for being cool. The because Hemi cars did not come with air conditioning. It's pretty wild to think that only 10 people had the good fortune to buy a 67 GTX 426 Hemi Auto convertible back in the day, and we're fortunate to be able to share this one from the Brothers Collection. This is a car for the buyer who wants it all. Comfort, style, and the tire shredding torque of 426 cubic inches. What do you think? You dig cars like this? We have a lot more on our website at MuscleCarOfTheWeek.com, and we'll bring you another one next time from the Brothers Collection on Muscle Car of the Week.